What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Jack O'Neill. Let's get right into the news. Today, we will be speaking about child soldiers. Yes, I know. Because at this very moment, there are 250,000 children, ages 5 through 17, who are wielding rifles instead of school books. Due to the rise in the number of wars, globalization, and manufacturing of guns, children in Afghanistan, Somalia, Yemen, and many other countries are being forced to fight at the risk of their lives. In 2015, the Islamic State, yes, we know how bad they are, hang people on TV and all that. Well, they released videos allegedly showing a young boy soldier executing prisoners. They made this boy become a killer. As ugly as the scene may appear, the conversion of children to killers is not irreversible. Although the use of child soldiers is evident over the course of history, the blatant disregard for the lives of child soldiers by their governments, the physical and mental effects of conflict on these children, and the lack of effective support from the United Nations is appalling, but reversible with the help of the world. Christianity teaches the human purpose is to live in harmony with God and to live for Him. But how can we do that if we are forcing our children to fight for their lives and to break the Ten Commandments? It's just appalling, you know? This is a direct violation of human dignity. I mean, we are sending these children out, not necessarily we, but we're allowing this to happen. These children are being sent out and being used as sex slaves by these other soldiers, being used as sex slaves. Some humans cannot even fathom how bad this is, how bad these children have it. This is complete and utter bullshit. Bullshit. We are arming these children, going out to fight. For what? For CNN recently interviewed a young child named Nasir, and this child just explained these gruesome scenes to us. I mean, his fellow brother's leg was broken in 3 places for just not wanting to do physical training. That's all he didn't want to do. And they broke his leg in 3 places. I mean, these children are being physically and emotionally scarred for life. And there's no purpose. This is awful. Now, this breaks a whole lot of laws. I mean, come on. Natural law, I mean, that pertains to the unchanging moral principles that can be determined through the use of reason. Reason tells me that giving firearms to children and shooting other people might not be the best idea. Breaking that law. The old law, the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. Gone. New law concerns much of the moral, social, and spiritual behavior from God's instructions. God doesn't want us to kill each other. God wants us to live in harmony with Himself. It's probably breaking that law. And the church law, it's against the Christian faith and teaching, so breaking that law also. And civil law, finally. The United Nations released the 6 grave violations, which includes the killing and maiming of children, recruitment or use of children as soldiers, sexual violence against a soldier, attacks against schools or hospitals, denial of humanitarian access for children, and the abduction of children. We obviously see here that a lot of these 6 grave violations are being broken, therefore breaking the civil law. Now, is this act sinful? Is it sinful? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. The moral object is to use these children as soldiers for the intention of just a fight. And for the characteristics of sin, you need this for mortal sin. The object is a grave matter. Use of child soldiers, pretty grave. Gang rape. Fighting and killing. I mean, seriously. It is committed with full knowledge. They're going to these people's homes and taking the children from their families and using them. Full knowledge right there. And it is done with deliberate consent. As I just stated, they're doing it deliberately. They're abducting these children from their homes and using them. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. That is a mortal sin right there. Now, some people might be saying that this doesn't affect many people. But let me tell you, it affects 250,000 children worldwide. And if we're talking 400 people in their families, that's a million people that's affecting. Let me pull up a graph for you right now. Now I'm going to give you some time to try to dissolve this map right here. And just know that the dark red countries are where there is severe use of child soldiers, and light pink is where there is minimal use of child soldiers. Alright, now that you've had some time to dissolve this picture, we can see that there was a lot of use of child soldiers in Africa, so it's affecting a lot of the families over there. And you might be asking, why the United States is pink? Well, in 2003, the United States sent 60 17-year-olds over to Afghanistan to fight. And although that might seem like just a mistake, it's still sending child soldiers, so I had to include it in here. The magisterium has come out to say that they are against the savagery of war and that peace is the goal of life in society. But by using child soldiers, I don't know how we can get peace. And I don't know how that it is not a savagery of war. So therefore the magisterium is against the use of child soldiers. But also, use of child soldiers is an act of hate. It is betraying love. It is betraying hope. It is betraying our faith. All of which are virtues that we need to end this. Now, in order to end the use of child soldiers, first we must educate ourselves on typical life after demobilization for child soldiers. Children require consistent emotional support because of their hostile qualities developed during military service. They may have a rough time trying to fit back into a society where guns and other weapons are not in their hands every day. The United Nations has been working to end the use of child soldiers, however, more can always be done. They established a campaign, Children, Not Soldiers, 20 years ago. The goal was to build up support to prevent the recruitment and use of children by 2016, this year. The United States has also campaigned to stop the use of child soldiers. They aim to ratify a new child soldier protocol, eliminate U.S. military aid that facilitates the use of child soldiers, increase U.S. government support for programs to prevent recruitment and provide disarmament, dismobilization, and reintegration. Although implementation of new plans and support from global powers is very helpful, we need to do more. We need to look to our communities because we need to valve love, peace, and education rather than money to end this. And it's really up to us as a society, because we need to denounce the pro-war culture and chastise countries that sell unregulated guns. We must illustrate the realities of war and conflict to the public. It is up to us to end this. The global powers are helping a lot, but it's up to us. Although this was a hard topic to talk about, we now know that this is irreversible and we can't change this, and we are going to change this. Thank you for watching.